Very good evening to all of you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay. I think now today we are going to start the new subject. The name we call, let's see that. Name we'll call that supply chain operations and sustainability. Under this particular program, I will do the several topics. My target is to complete the introduction of the operations management, operation strategy and completeness, and talk about the quality management and also the control charts. Under the quality tools, we talk about the control charts. I have 2 sessions only. Today is the very first session. Now let us start from the introduction of the operations management. Before I talk about the operations management, I would like to get some idea from your side. According to your knowledge, let me know what is management. What is management? I am not expected 100% perfect definition. Just say the idea. Anybody can say the answer, right?
Yeah, as far as the management is concerned, which is integrated process, resource planning, organizing, leading, and control.
Okay. You've given that comprehensive idea about the management, but I have a still problem is that the definition, you emphasize the management means process of planning, organizing, directing, and control. I can't say it's incorrect. That's required to do the management. But somebody asks, what is management? If you are going to say straightforward, process of planning, organizing, directing, and control, the problem is these are we call the functions of management. Right? If somebody asks what is management, you are going to say as an answer the functions of management. I am sure that have some problems. Right? I can't say your answer is 100% incorrect, but better to give the idea about the management. Then after that, you can talk about the process of planning, organizing, directing, and control is much better. Anybody like to give another idea about what is management? What is management? Why silent? Susima?
So I also agree with Mudita. So you said that there are some lack of details are there in his answer.
You mean that you are agree with my idea or I still am not explaining that?
No,
Yes,
I agree with Mudita's answer. That's what I also wanted to give.
right. Okay. The Mudita said actually mainly focusing that process of planning, organizing, directing, and control.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that
actually
is
under the management, we should do that. Without we can't do the management. I am agree with. But problem is somebody asks what is management, assume your brother or sister asks, right? What is management? Then you are going to say process of planning, organizing, directing, and control. They have another problem. What is planning? What is organizing? What is directing? You understand what I mean? Right?
yeah.
These are the functions of management.
Mm.
If somebody asks what are the functions of management, it's straightforward. You can say
Yeah.
planning, organizing, directing, and control.
So, when we are looking at
So,
out of the what we said earlier,
Yeah.
the management is all about now we are dealing with the resources. Resources is something it is scared by, that means scarce resources are scarce. Then we have to go with these scarce resources. Therefore, management will be required.
Right. Actually, yes, we consider that resources are limited. I know that. Then when you're going to define management or either explain what is management, remember that we need to consider there are two important words we call effective and efficiency. If somebody asks what is management, much better remember, we use the limited resources to achieve particular goals or either objectives, how effective and efficient manner. That is we call the management. Don't forget that two words, effective and efficiency. What is the meaning of the effective and efficiency? We should do the right thing.
Excuse me, sir.
Sorry.
So that comes in economy, no, sir.
No.
So
That,
using limited resources with
no. That if I use that, actually, why we talk about management? Why we talk about time management? Because time is limited.
yeah.
Time is limited. Why we talk about the water management in the future? We should concern about that because of the water is now become limited. Early we didn't pay for the water. Now we should pay the water, right? Because of the limited. Then we should do the management. Therefore, either resources limited or we have the resources, right? Then we use the resources are the limited resources to achieve the goals and objective. How effective and efficient manner. We need to do the right thing at minimum cost. That's the management. Right? Effective and efficiency means we should do the right thing at minimum cost. If you want to do the effective and efficiency, we should have a plan. We should organize, directing, and control. These are the functions of management. Therefore, much better when I'm going to define next time, better to say the idea about management. Then after that, you can go to the planning, organizing, directing, and control. I know that a lot of students, they misunderstand. Very first time, they are going to say the management is planning, organizing, directing, and control, right? Then somebody, they are going to say define the getting things done by the others. That's also management. I know that, but that definition is not enough for the, especially you are getting the knowledge, the management area. Much better you can remember we use the resources, so I limited resources to achieve goals and objective. That's also we should emphasize goals and objective. How effective and efficient manner. That's we call the management. Okay, when I'm going to talk about the management, if you know the management very well, then so easy to consider about the functions of the organizations. You know that if you consider about the any organization, there are different functions area. What are the organizational functions area? You are working maybe different organization. What are the functions area? The organizational functions area. Oh, you are silent. Organization functions area. Yes, I earlier explained the functions of management, planning, organizing, directing, and control. But now my question is organizational functions area.
Production.
Yes, correct. Now we use as a new term operations management. Very early we use the production management. I will explain later the difference between that. Quickly, I need the answers, right?
Marketing, finance.
Marketing management.
Finance.
Yeah,
human
finance management and
resources.
human resource management. These are the organizational functions area. Okay. Now, before I start in, I like to just give the briefly what is the operations management. If you know the management very well, so easy to define the financial management or the HRM or the marketing management or operations, so easy. Actually, operations management means we use the inputs to produce the desired output with high productive ratio. Under the operations management, mainly we focus about how we can do the transformation process, or another term is a production process, effective and efficiency. That's we call operation management, operation plus management. We use the input to produce the desired output with high productive ratio. And the operations management mainly focus about how we can do the transformation process, effective and efficiency. Okay, I'll explain again later in detail. now I would like to just talk about the recommended reading when I'm going to get the knowledge operations management. Much better this particular books. The first one, Chase Aquilano, Operations and Supply Chain Management, 15 editions. I think that's really good book. The first image you can see, at least you can see the image now. That's the reason I put purposely the images. And second one, Russell Taylor, that's another important book. You can use that one also. And there are so many books actually. The last one I wrote that single medium book. That's the very first book in Sri Lanka. Then if you like, then you can use that one also to enhance your knowledge. That's a new edition actually. New edition. Then I will share the slides, right? Oh, don't worry about that. I think not shared yet. Then I will send to that coordinator. Then she will upload to your LMS. Now we can talk about the interaction of operations management. Under this topic, I would like to talk about operations management in organization chart, how to define operations management, the operations manager and the management process. And we should talk about the operation functions and its environment and historical development of the field, how the operations management developed up to that level. First, I will talk about where the operation function in organization chart. I earlier also mentioned these are we call the functions of organization. Yes, I put the finance, operations, marketing, human resource only, but financial management, operations management, marketing management, and human resource management. Not only that, some organization they include as another functions, research and development as well. But especially the developing country like Sri Lanka, that a lot of companies not allocate more percentage for the research and development, but developed countries, they allocate more percentage for the research and development because that's really important to development of the organization, right? If compare with these functions area, according to your knowledge, let me know that which one is the most important. Financial management or marketing management or operations management or human resource management. I need your quick response.
Human resource
Human
management.
resource.
Human resource management. Any reasons we had that?
Difficult
To all
and
these sorry.
Go ahead, Ms. Susima, that you can.
Yeah, to carry out all functions, we need to have people, I think human.
Yeah.
So that's what I chose. That.
Okay, I'm not talk about the human resource, right? As a functions area, we talk about the human
Sir,
resource.
I would say marketing will be more important.
Okay, can you say the reasons behind that?
Yeah, the marketing will be getting the business from outside. There's customer outside. They're getting the customer through the marketing.
Mhm.
Therefore, the marketing, I would say, more important than others.
Okay, I'll make argument, right? Don't worry that you also can make the argument. Don't believe my idea, right? That's the way we should do this session. Assume that company produce the product to is very important to the customer. It's an essential one. Then you know that no need lot of marketing campaign. As example, that rice, right? The companies that produce the rice, they don't like to make any marketing. They use some, but anyway, the less marketing strategy they are used, but people like to buy, right? Because it's a very essential product to the customer. Therefore, marketing, if the product is very essential, the marketing is not important. It's easy to sell the product in the market. But the product is not essential, then we should create the demand, right? Therefore, we require the marketing, right? Then regarding the human resource management, I'm not talking about human resource. I know that human resources are really important. Without human resource, we can't do anything. How can do the today lecture, right? You and me all are the human, right? Then the machines cannot do everything. But as a human resource management functions, I like to say that is it important? Compare the rest of functions area. You know, in Japan, They have a brain surgery doing by the robots. Some warehouses in the world, all fully automated. Some factory fully automated, no lights, right? But they are doing the production. But again, you can make the argument who create these things, again, the human. Therefore, no any doubt about the human resource, but I'm talking about as a functions area, human resource management. How can use the human resources effective and efficiency, right? Anybody have any different ideas? You can make the argument, right? If it's still not satisfied, then you can make the argument.
I think operations,
Operations,
Manage-
why, what is the reason behind that?
because now, like you said, even the product is something essential like rice. If the day-to-day activities from production until it goes to the customer, it doesn't happen properly, then that's an issue.
Mhm. Anybody like to say the finance? I will come to my conclusion later. Anybody like to say the finance management?
I think the operations they would have the derive the demands. The customer, if there is no customer, the operation will no longer happen.
Okay, again, we are going to say that the marketing is
What you said earlier,
Yeah.
the rise, if the monopoly market, it is okay.
Yeah.
But if you are looking at the competitive market, we need to market it.
But now the competitive market is not only that private sector and the government sector also involved. The government sector also opened the warehouses to get the paddy, but don't know that the farmers, they don't give the paddy to the government sector because of have some problems. They consider about the high quality level. They're difficult to get the finance, and the private sector, they offer the finance. They are going to the paddy field and they get the products, and they free of charge transport and everything. Right? They give the lot of facilities, then they give the loan as well. That not monopoly. There are several manufacturers. As example, that here the producing that Aralia, Nipuna, Ratna, likewise, there are some other suppliers as well. Right? Then this is not the monopoly. They have a competition. They have a competition.
But it is inelastic demand, sir.
Yes. Okay. I will come to that your point. Then you said that it's marketing management is really important, right? I am okay. That's really good that your argument, right? But anybody like to say the finance, because I need to complete this one. Anybody like to say the finance is most important, financial management? Others are silent, no? You are not in front of the device. Vijita? Samira? Sanjeeva? Disana? No idea. Anybody like to say the finance management is most important? Okay, assume one particular student going to say the financial management is important, then my argument is the traditional idea is that without finance, we can't do anything. But now, you know that if you want to start the business, finance is not the main problem. The most important thing is ideas. A good example in our country, Pick Me 3-wheel service. How they start, 3 persons develop app and ask to all the 3-wheel drivers join with them. If any 3-wheel driver join with the Pick Me, they should pay the 6,000 as a membership fee. They need to buy the device, 20,000 rupees. Every hire, they need to pay the 15%. Now the Pick Me, they earn huge amount, right? They start the business without big capital investment. The capital is not the most important factor now. You know, in the world, have some transportation company, they don't have any vehicle under the company name. They get from the outside suppliers, and if the customer requests the helicopter or the Benz car or the BMW or any vehicle, they will give the within short time period. The traditional approach, actually, the people, they are going to say, we can't do any business without finance. But now, you know that idea is most important. Creative ideas. Okay, I'll come to the operations now, finally. Actually, according to my idea, that most important function is operations management, because that is only the function produce the goods and service. Without goods and service, what we are going to market, right? What we are going to market. If we won't do the marketing management, we should have a good and service. Under the operations, mainly we focus about produce the goods and service. That's the reason that operations is a most important, right? Most important function, operations management. But anyway, finally, my conclusion is all the functions are important. Why? Then nowadays, the lot of business organization, they are doing the business as a, we call that integrated system, right? The modern business, they use the ERP system, SAP system. The SAP system is integrated all the functions area. One particular functions did the transaction is going to update to the all the rest of the functions area. Therefore, nowadays, they are consider that all the functions area important, because now the lot of companies now they concern the integrated system, right? That's my final conclusion. But anyway, you can take the decision yourself based on the rational thinking, which functions area is most important. But all the companies not use the integrated system. Still, we can see the traditional approach as well. However, that compare the functions area, most important one is operations functions, because that's the only the function they produce the goods and service. Without goods and service, financial management is not important. Without goods and service, marketing management is not important. Without goods and service, human resource management also not important. The most important thing is produce the goods and service. For our country also, my idea is that if we need to develop our country, the production is the most important, right? Production is the most important. Okay, you can take the decision rationally yourself. Now I like to continue. Go to the next slide. That what is operations management? Here one definition, the operations management is defined as the design, operations and improvement of the system that create and deliver the firm's primary product or service. I'll take the, I'm go to the whiteboard. I'll explain another way. I earlier also explained somewhat what is operations management. I think that the easiest way you can remember, rather than the particular definition I took from the recommended reading books. You can use any books to get the definition here. Can you see my whiteboard?
Yes, sir.
Can you see the whiteboard?
Yes, sir.
We can see.
Yes.
Okay. We use the inputs and we should go via the transformation process in the middle. We call the transformation process. Then we are going to take the output. Output we can classify how? Output we can classify how? The two types of output. Can you predict yourself?
Goods or services?
Yes, that's correct. Goods and service. Tangible goods and intangible services. Right? Intangible services. When I'm going to define the operations management, much better, you can remember this diagram. We use the input. We should go via the transformation process to produce a desired output with high productive ratio, not only the output, with high productive ratio. And the operations management, mainly we focus about how we can do the transformation process effective and efficiency. Effective and efficiency. That's we call operations management. If you want to do the operations management, we can't forget the functions of management. Under the operations management, even financial management, even marketing management also, we should concern about planning, organizing, then directing. Under directing, there are mainly three things. You know what are the three things under directing? Directing. What are the main three things under that? And finally, control. Under the directing, my question, what are the main things we need to focus? Should know about that. If you want to do the management, these are the functions. So now we talk about the OM. OM means operations management, operations plus management. If you want to do the management, if it means the effective and efficiency something, we need to consider planning, organizing, directing, and control. My question is under directing, there are mainly three things. What are these things? All are silent. And directing mainly three things we call leadership, then motivation, then last one, you're doing that master's degree, no? What's the last one? Communication. Don't forget, these are the fundamental, right? These are the fundamental. Now, if you want to do the transformation process effective and efficiency, we should talk about. Yes.
I have a problem because I don't see your whiteboard. That
Can't
means
see now. Others can see, no?
Yes.
I think in your computer problem that.
Just
You know that. Others can see that. I shared already. The Zoom mentioned also 12 people are following me. 12 people. Including me, 13. Yes. Okay.
maybe I am logging with
Okay, sure. Right.
my phone. That's why. Okay, I will
Right.
try to change it. Okay.
I will
Sorry.
again back to the slides. Don't worry. I take few minutes that to explain purpose. Then if you want to do the transformation process effective and efficiency, remember that we need to consider under the operations management, interaction of the operations management, operation strategy and completeness, product design and development, manufacturing. This manufacturing means tangible goods, how to design new product to the market. Product design, process selection, manufacturing. There are different type of process. We should select which process most suitable. And we should talk about the product design, development, process selection, services, because goods and services are different. Under the operations management, we should focus both separately. And we should talk about the forecasting. We are going to predict the future demand. Is not included under your content. My responsibility only 4 topics, right? Then we should talk about the quality management. I think that's one include for us. I will explain in detail quality management. And we should talk about the capacity planning. We should talk about the facilities planning and location. We should talk about the layout planning. That's really important to improve the transformation process. And also we should talk about the production planning. There are different kind of production planning. We call the start from the process plan, strategic capacity plan, then aggregate production plan. Then after that, we are going to divide the goods and service. For the tangible goods, master production schedule, material requirement plan, order schedule. Likewise, for the services, weekly workforce customer schedule, daily workforce and customer schedule, and just in time, supply chain management, inventory management. These are our content actually under the operations management. Why we consider that all these things to do the transformation process effective and efficiency, right? Okay, now I'll move to our slides. Then we are going to talk about the introduction of the operations management. Now you know the definition. I think much better keep the previous definitions I mentioned. They're so easy to remember that. What is that? We use the inputs to produce a desired output with high productive ratio. Under the operations management, mainly focus about how we can do the transformation process effective and efficiency, right? Now, we can consider about this particular diagram in detail. Now you can see what are the inputs required to produce goods and service. In generally, we can say workers, managers, equipment, facilities, materials, services, land, energy, likewise. And we should go via the process and operations. So why now the modern term we call the transformation process. Process and operation is also correct. The transformation process, then we can get the output. The output we are going to classify goods and services. If you want to get the knowledge about the operations management, everybody should have a possibility to consider any organization should have a possibilities to identify what are the inputs, outputs, and transformation process. That's the easiest way you can learn the subject. What are the inputs required? How the transformation process and output, right? Then now I'd like to give the very simple example. Just try to find yourself. What are the inputs required? How the transformation process and output. The example is hospital, right? Take the piece of paper, just write down what are the main inputs required for the hospital, how the transformation process, input form, and the output. Just start now. I give 2 minutes, then after that you should explain the answer. Don't write these common terms I given, but because I given the specific organization, just try to find yourself what are the inputs required, how the transformation process and output. let me know that what are the inputs required for the hospital?
Inputs
Yes.
must be patients
Right. Very good.
and patients and doctors.
Mhm.
Then the transformation is patient get healed, and output must be the recovered person.
Okay, very good. Anybody like to say the answer?
Inputs include buildings, drugs, devices, furniture, and other medical stuff. And in process is treating the patients. Output is cured patient.
Okay, very good. Actually, that you mentioned about all the inputs required, no need 100%, but anyway, that most important input that sometimes they are going to say doctors, nurses, medicine, medical equipment, then wards, other equipments, other labors likewise. They are not going to mention about the patients. Then how can do the process without patients, doctors and nurses only? Sometimes they like to do that, but anyway, we require the patients also, no? Then the process is the patients, they need to go to hospital, get the appointment, they need to meet the doctor. Then after that, process may be changed, is depend on the which type of diseases they have. Which type of diseases they have. Then finally, the output is healthy persons. Healthy persons. Sometimes the output may be dead body. That's a reality, but don't write this one because that we are not expected that kind of situation. But unfortunately, we can see the output may be dead body, but main output is healthy persons. Okay, likewise, you should have a possibilities to identify what are the inputs required, how the transformation process and output. Okay, last example, no need write down, just let me know. Now we are doing the lectures now. If you want to do this lecture, what are the inputs required? For this lecture, what are the inputs required?
Students read the lesson material.
Mm-hmm.
And the devices also.
Right.
And the lecturer.
Yes. Okay, if you want to do the lectures, then we require the lecturer, student, devices, electricity, and other facilities as well. And in open institute, there are staff members, they are support likewise. Then the process, we start lectures, I explain the theory and concept, I ask the questions, and you are going to say the answers. Some students are silent, some maybe they are doing their act works, I don't know that. Anyway, output may be, what is output? What is output?
Masters.
Skilled students or a skilled person.
Student. Oh, actually output may be that value addition to the student knowledge. You don't know how to define management very well, but at least now you know how to define the management. Likewise, then you can take the decisions that after the end of the today class, actually, I don't like to say anything that that is a value addition to your knowledge. That's output. Okay. Now, when you're going to talk about the transformation process, so why the production system? The production system is defined as the use of resources to transform inputs into some desired output. We talk about the middle part is a transformation process, then it's mean we are going to use the resources to transform input into the some desired output. There are different kind of transformation process. A lot of people thought the transformation process only the physical manufacturing. Again, the good example that if you want to produce rice, right, we use the paddy, labor, technology, capital, buildings, right? Likewise, that these are the main inputs and manpower as well, electricity also. Then after the transformation process, we can get output as a rice. Everybody can see how the paddy convert as a rice. That's we call the physical manufacturing, right? Physical manufacturing. But transformation process, every time, not like that. We can see the different kind of transformation process. I would like to take another example. Assume Mudita plan to go to goal using the highway bus. He like to go to goal using the highway bus. What are the inputs required? What are the inputs required? I need the quick answers. What are the inputs required?
Bus money, toll,
Right, right.
Mudita, driver,
Mm-hmm.
road,
Okay, we require the bus, we require driver, we require conductor also, then road, fuel, then Mudita and other passengers, and money also. The process, bus starting, they need to get on the bus, they need to take a sheet, they need to buy the tickets, bus starting, going. Then sometimes they can get the music. And what is output? What is output?
reaching goal.
Yes, that's correct. Is reach to the goal, right? Is inside the bus in the Mudita is not going to change. The paddy change as a rice, but Mudita is not going to change, but we should observe that how his behavior. But anyway, normally the Mudita is not going to change location. That's we call locational transportation. Is another type of the transformation process. And not only that, exchange retailing, storage warehousing, psychological healthcare, informational telecommunication. As example that we use the hospital example, under which transformation process? For hospital example, under which category? The classroom example, under which category? Based on this given transformation format. Our classroom example,
Exchange.
no. The classroom example, informational telecommunication. I am going to say something about, then you are try to get the idea, right? It's information telecommunication. Hospital example, we can include psychological healthcare. But anyway, now I want to give the idea about the transformation process, not only physical manufacturing. There are different kind of the transformation process. Okay. Now let's go to that next step. After the transformation process, we can get the output. I earlier also explained that output we are going to classify goods and services. Goods and services. Let me know what are the main differences between the goods and services. If you like, then take the piece of paper and write down one side goods, other side services. At least write down the 5 differences. At least 5 differences. Then you can write more than 5. Okay, start now within 1 or 2 minutes. Just write down everybody use the goods, everybody use the services. They should know the main differences between that. Let's start now. I think now the time enough. Let me know what are the main differences between the goods and services.
Goods tangible, services intangible.
Correct.
Goods can be stored.
Mm-hmm.
Services we can't, and goods we have to produce first and then consume. When it comes to services, it's happening simultaneously. Goods are standardized most of the time. Services can be customized.
Very good.
Service inseparable. Goods are separable. Depend on the people, service quality will be differs. Goods are not assets.
Okay, I think that's correct. Then you can see that what are the differences between the goods and service. More like manufacturing organization means tangible goods. More like service organization means intangible services. You also mentioned physical durable product means tangible, but services intangible, perishable product. Output can be inventory, but services cannot be inventory. Another important difference is the goods low customer contact. Services high customer contact. If you are going to buy the goods, right, then you can see total production time compared with the customer involvement time, the ratio is low when you're going to buy the goods. But when you're going to buy the services, total service time compare the customer involvement time, the ratio is high. Here I am offer the service. We have a 3 hours time period. So you are the customer. If you want to get this knowledge, you should involve that, right? That's we call the services high customer contact. Normally tangible goods, low customer contact. If you are going to buy the shop to buy the soap, then you can pay money, you can buy it, but you are not involved for the production process, right? Then services, we can't do that. If you want to cut your hair, you should go to the barber salon and you should stay until cut your hair. You can't say, okay, please cut my hair. I will come to later to collect. How can do that? The next time if you get on the bus, you can ask from the conductor how the customer contact. The normally transport service, the customer contact is we call the high customer contact. If you're going to get the medicine from the doctor, next time you can ask, doctor, you know that you and me have a high contact because the doctor is offered the service, you are the customer. The total service time equal to the customer involvement time, right? Then regional, national, and international market, we can buy the services, tangible goods, but normally services local market. We require the large facilities to produce the goods, but for the services, we require only small facilities. Normally goods, capital incentives, but services, lot of services, labor incentives. Somewhat we can see capital incentives as well, but lot of services, labor incentives. And quality is to measure tangible goods, but services is not easy. Why we talk about the differences, under the operations management, we need to focus goods and service separately. Now, the goods and service are not same, have some differences. Therefore, we need to consider the separately goods and service. But practically, sometimes be difficult to find the pure goods and pure service, right? This diagram, you can see very first one is automobile. Let me know is a pure goods or pure service. Automobile. It's pure goods or pure service. Automobile, the car or vehicle, is a pure goods or pure service?
Both.
No, the car is a pure goods, is tangible. No, I'm not talking about that.
Service.
Huh?
No, sir, I mean that automobile service.
Yeah,
So,
not that. Automobile, that's car,
sorry.
right? Is a pure goods. What about the last one? Counseling. Counseling, last one.
Service.
Service is a pure service. Assume that you have a free time. Everybody, you are going to the restaurant to get the meal. Get the meal. Right? Then restaurant meal is a pure goods or pure service? What about you?
Both involved.
Yeah, actually, this is both. Because if you are going to restaurant, you expect to get their service as well as you try to get the tangible item as well. Therefore, restaurant meal, we can't say it's a pure goods or pure service. Likewise, auto repair, hospital care, likewise. Then some time, you know that mainly goods manufacturing companies, they offer their goods with intangible items. Sometimes mainly service manufacturing companies, they offer the service to the customer along with the tangible items because of the market competition. That is a reality, right? But anyway, you should know, we can see that type of situations as well. But anyway, you should know that goods and services have some differences. Under the operations management, we are going to focus in both separate. Very early, this subject name I earlier also mentioned, we call this a production management. But nowadays we use as a operations management. Main reasons behind that. Under the production management, mainly focus in tangible goods only. But now we are concerned the services as well. That's the reason we call the subject name as operations management. Now, actually, if any country develop means that service sector is a development. The development of the service sector, that's the most important. We are going to satisfy our requirement, very convenient way, right? Okay, now I'd like to move to the next one, the operations manager and the management process. It means we are going to talk about the relationship between functions of management and operations management. I earlier explained, when if you want to do the operations management, we should have a planning, organizing, directing, and control. Some people, they are going to say the functions of management, planning, organizing, staffing, and
Sir,
directing.
excuse me.
Yes.
Yeah, if we are looking at the restaurant,
Yeah.
you little said that let's suppose the restaurant has been
Your voice not clear.
noticed that self-service.
Your
If
voice is
it
not
is
clear.
provide self-service,
Your voice is not clear. I can't hear properly.
now I hope that now can you hear me?
No, not clear yet.
Sir, can you
Maybe
hear me?
now it's okay. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, sir. Okay, let's just move. No, what I wanted to emphasize,
Yes.
if the restaurant has been noticed that self-service is self-services, then if we can consider as the trade, I mean, service or goods, because
No,
it might be
if the restaurant sells,
with the trade as well.
no, if the restaurant self-service, I mean that.
In trade, it also can be considered as service.
Still, your voice is not clear. Your voice is not clear. We can't hear properly. Others also, I am sure. Anyway, right. You are trying to say that the restaurant meal, you are going to say that there is a self-service organization, but the restaurant normally that they offer the service, no? The without food, how can they offer the service? Then food is a tangible item. That's the reason we can't say it's not the pure service. It is not the pure goods. Combine both. I want to say that some examples we can't find as a clear the pure service or the pure goods. We can see the both. That's the real situation because of the market competition. Then, however, we are going to talk about the goods and service have some differences because under the operations management, we need to focus goods and service separately. Okay, then now we are going to talk about the operations manager and its management process. You know, I earlier also explained the planning. We are going to make the different kind of plan under the operations
So
management.
excuse me.
Yes.
I have a question. Now, services, when we consider about services, can we consider self-services as well? Because since you have emphasized this restaurant thing, so
Yeah.
there are self-services, restaurant-like thing, restaurants are there, no, sir? That means if we want, that Coca-Cola, we can go and have it. So, so then, yeah, it's anyway, both tangible and services are there.
Yeah.
But what I mean is services should come from outside, or is it can be a self-service?
Sorry.
Is it so now services, that mean we have to get the services from outsider, or is it can be a self-service? I don't know whether my question is that mean
Actually, if you are going to talk about the services, we can see the different kind of service and self-service, or either the particular organization they are going to offer the service. But anyway, we can see the service, right? We can see the service. If any organization, they need to give the self-service. As example, that if you are going to the McDonald's, now in our country McDonald's are closest, but anyway, any country, we can use the self-service. Now, if we should go to the maybe cash machines, and we can order the required things, and we can pay using our credit card. But however, that company people, they need to make the food item according to your request. They need to prepare the foods. That's a service, right? Either only part of the, we can see the self-service, but 100% is not the self-service. The inside people, they should do something, right? Then as another example, the teller machine is a self-service. Now you can do any transaction. If you're going to withdraw the money, right? You can use a card and you can put the PIN number and you can get the money, right? This a machine is given the service. But somebody is going to input the money to the inside the machine. No, all the money is finished. Then inside bankers, they are going to fill the money. That's the, they should work with that machine without not 100% self-service. Therefore, but I want to say that if any company produce some particular product or the service, we can see the difference between the goods and service. But anyway, sometime because of the market competition, we can't find the pure service or the pure goods, because they offer the goods and service along with the goods manufacturing, along with service, and service manufacturer along with the tangible items. That's I want to mention is a reality in the market. Okay, now I'll go to this topic, that relationship between the operations manager and the management process. Under the planning, we talk about the capacity, locations, product or service, make, go, buy, layout, project and scheduling. And also under the directing, we talk about degree of centralization, process selection, staffing, hiring, lane of use of overtime. And the directing, incentive plans, assurance work orders, job assignment. Under the controlling, we consider under the operations manager, the inventory, cost, quality, and productivity. Here again, you can see the operation function and its environment. If you consider about this diagram, the middle one is a factory, it's mean the operations function. The rest of the functions area out of that: marketing, research and development, finance, purchasing, personnel, customer services, and distribution and logistics, right? Again, this diagram is represent, given the idea, the most important function is operations. But now you know that marketing and operation have a good relationship. We are going to identify the customer needs and wants based on the market research. Then after produce the product, we should introduce product to the market. Likewise, this functions area have a relationship, but anyway, most important one is operations function. Now I'm going to talk about the historical development of subject. I don't like to ask any question for the final exam, but anyway, you should know somewhat about how the operations management develop up to that level. Okay, the lot of subject is starting point because of the scientific management. Because of scientific management. Right? Let me know who introduced scientific management to the world. Who introduced? Who introduced scientific management to the world? Who introduced scientific management to the world?
Frederick Taylor.
I think that's correct answer. The correct one is that F.W. Taylor. Why the Frederick Winslow Taylor? Right? You answer also correct. But sometimes the student, they are going to say the Taylor only. Then I ask again which Taylor, that Navala, Rajagiri. There are so many Taylors, but the correct page you mentioned about that F.W. Taylor. Why the Frederick Winslow Taylor? That's a lot of subject starting point. The operations management also is starting because of the scientific management. After that, moving assembly line. It's mean for the production purpose, use the assembly line to produce their goods. There's another development stage. You know that there are a lot of products now we use the assembly line. As example, auto manufacturing, small and medium sized aircraft manufacturing, lot of electronic goods manufacturing company, some garment factory, toys production company. Like us, there are so many examples you can observe. They use the assembly line. There is another development stage. Then Hawthorne experiment, you know, that's the experiment is highly effective to create the worker motivation. Then that experiment also effective to develop the operations management. After that, operation research. Anybody know about that? What is operation research? What is operation research? That's another development stage. If you don't know, please let me know that without wasting time.
No, sir, we don't know. I don't know.
Okay, actually, operation research is another subject. The particular subject is starting again because of the scientific management, but especially that particular subject is starting 1940, Second World War. UK, they have faced problem, United Kingdom. The problem is how to win the war using the limited resources. They are going to create the several military groups, scientists along with the scientists, then ask them, identify the techniques to win the war. Because of this particular group, their innovations, they identify the techniques like linear programming, transportation, assignment model, network model, dynamic programming, integer linear programming, goal programming, queen theory, game theory, decision tree, decision theory. Under the decision theory, there are so many: Maximax method, Minimax method, Hurwitz method, Laplace method, the expected value analysis, expected value of opportunity loss, expected value for effect information. They identify the lot of techniques. They apply the techniques for the war purpose. They won the war. After they won the war, the UK government decided to use the particular techniques to development of the economic side development of the country, because they waste a lot of resources. They should develop the economic condition of the country. Then asked the military groups to apply the particular techniques to development of the country. They use the particular techniques, and simultaneously USA also use the particular techniques for their operations. I mean that for their activities. And 1952, UK very first time established Operation Research Society. And after that, including France, Germany, Canada, USA, along with the UK, established 1967 Federation of Operation Research. After that, they introduced the particular techniques to the higher education institution. Actually, operation research techniques we are going to use to get the optimal decision. Optimal decisions. Assume one particular company produce 2 products. They want to maximize their profit. They want to identify the optimal product mix. We can use the operation research technique as a technique we call the linear programming. That particular techniques we use to the operations management also to get the optimal decision. That's another development stage. Now the main subject is our subject, operations management. When you're going to make the production plan or production schedule, or when you're going to identify the transportation way, how can transport goods from sources to destination to minimize the cost. then we can use the operation research technique to get the optimal decision. There's a relationship between that, right? Then after that, OM identify as a separate field. Then next one, I don't like to explain in detail by theme because we don't have enough time. Then you can, if you want, you can go to the recommend readings and try to enhance your knowledge. Then after that, next step, computer and MRP application. You know that after develop the computer technology, use these particular techniques to development of the operations management. You know, under the operations management, we are going to make the different kind of production plan. Some production plan we can't do manually. Example, the MRP, material requirement plan. If we want to make the material requirement plan, we should use the computer software. MRP means we are going to make the plan, how many parts, components, material required to produce one particular product. You know, some product have so many parts and components. One research identify for a one particular car, at least required 34,000 parts and components. 34,000 parts and components. Then we can't make it manually. We should use the computer software. Right? That's the way the computer technology affects to develop the operations management. Then after that, just in time. Just in time means we are going to get the required things, real time, real place, real location, along with the real cost. That's equal just in time. Total quality control and the factory automation is another development stage. Nowadays, a lot of factories, they're fully automated, right? Because they can reduce the labor cost. They are going to make the product with high quality, right? Then after that, next development stage, service quality and productivity, you know, service sector develop. Then under the operations management, they focus in the service quality as well as productivity is another development stage. The finally, e-commerce using the internet and World Wide Web. What is e-commerce? What is e-commerce? Do you have idea about?
It's related to online business.
Buying and selling via online platforms.
Correct. Actually, e-commerce means using the desktop computer, connect with the internet, we can do the any business transaction. That's we call the e-commerce. What is the latest commerce in the world now?
Customer to customer transaction.
No. C to C. No. My question is latest commerce in the world. The e-commerce is a somewhat early technology. After the e-commerce, which commerce now is latest?
Social media.
I,
Not social media. Which commerce? My question.
AI driven commerce.
Sorry, sir, I don't know. You have to explain.
Actually, that
Crypto.
sorry?
Crypto.
No. We talk about
Sorry,
that.
sir.
Yes, we talk about actually the e-commerce mean that earlier I mentioned using the computer technology, connect with the internet, especially we use the desktop computer and connect with the internet, we can do the any business transaction. But after that, we use the m-commerce. Starting point e-commerce, that is a traditional one. Now I think e-commerce also for us maybe the new technology, but anyway that in the world now changing all the time. Then now we talk about as the latest commerce in the m-commerce, mobile commerce. using the mobile devices, we can do any business transaction from anywhere. No need to stay one particular location. The good example, you are using the smartphone. Your smartphone have a web connection, wireless application of protocol. You can directly connect to the internet. You can do any business transaction. If you want to buy the air tickets now, you can do it using your phone. You require the credit card and your internet connection phone only, right? If you want to select any hotel, you can select. You can create the booking now, right? If you want to select the flight, you can select which flight you like. You can select which seat you like, window seat or any seat. If you like, you can select your meal as well. Everything now you can, right? But we required only the hand phone. That's we call the M-commerce. Using the mobile devices from anywhere, you can do any business transaction. Now, assume you want to get the loan. Assume you have a fixed deposit account, right? Just use that account. Within 1 second, 2 seconds, you can get the loan, right? But you should have the bank app. Then go to that. You can keep your FD as a security. Then you can get the loan within few minutes, right? Then if you want to transfer the money for another account, we can do that. Yeah, so many things now we could do that. That's we call the M-commerce. But remember, the M-commerce also not the latest commerce in the world. The latest one we call T-commerce. T-commerce means television commerce. Television technology plus internet. Because television technology, the visual system and the sound system is much better, right? I think very first time in our banking industry, the Union Bank introduced the T-banking as a tool. You know, there are so many e-banking tools, no? E-banking tool, online banking, point of sale, and we call the internet banking, likewise. Then T-banking they introduced using the television technology. Now the new television look like a computer. Look like a computer, right? We can do any transaction via that also. Likewise, the IT development highly affect to develop the operations management. Every day is going to change. In the future, you are going to use a smart fridge, right? You are going to use it now also available. If you give the information to your smart fridge, automatically send message to the supermarket to bring the item to your doorstep. No need to go yourself, right? But you should give the instruction to your smart fridge. If the stock level get down, automatically fridge send the message to supermarket. They bring the item to your doorstep. If you are going to the work, when you're back to the home, before you come to your home, you can switch on your kettle. Right? Using your hand phone, you can see inside the home, right? Likewise, there are a lot of changes, developments now, right? If you're going to restaurant, your family members not there, but in your table have a screen, you can talk with them, you can get your meal. Likewise, the everyday is changing the over time that IT development also highly affect to develop the operations management. I think now we complete our first topic, right? Then I don't like to ask any question for the historical development of the operations management. You can go through that recommend reading and try to enhance your knowledge. That's really important. Okay, do you have any questions? Now we complete our first topic. Operations management. What is operations management? Production system, transformation process. Where the organization, operations management in organization chart, and relationship between the operations manager and the management process. And finally, we talk about the historical development of the subject. Do you have any questions? Any clarifications? If you don't have, then I can move to the next topic. Operational strategy and completeness. I will share this one. Operational strategy and completeness. What is the strategy? Forget the operations. What is the strategy? Can you explain? Some student also, they use a strategy. They are logging to the system now, 17 student. If I ask a question, but only few students, they are going to make the answers, feedback. Others are very silent, maybe. Sometimes they are not in front of device. But they, as a strategy, they log into the system and they mark the attendance. That's the reality. I don't know that 100% perfect, but anyway, right? Anyone would like to say that? What is the strategy?
Plan of
I
action.
think strategy
Mr.
come
Mudita, your sound is not
from
clear. Your sound is not clear.
World War.
Anyone would like to say that? Mudita, your sound is not clear. I can't hear properly. We still have the problem. Anyone would like to say that?
Plan of
Oh,
actions.
sorry.
Plan of actions to achieve some goals.
Okay, I think that also we can consider, but I'll take the very simple example to explain.
Can I, sir?
Sorry.
Can I?
Yes, why not?
Well, the strategies are always above operation level, and these strategies are made at higher level. High level in the sense, if you take, I mean, there are levels like operation levels, and operation levels have been looked into by managerial level, but these strategies are made always at a higher level.
Okay. Right. That's good. Then I'll take the very simple example to give the idea about the strategy based on the marketing management. You know the marketing management? Mudita said
Yes.
that marketing is really important. He said also, I am sure that he know about marketing. You know, under the marketing management, we talk about the 4 pieces: product, price, place, promotion for the tangible goods. For the intangible services, we talk about another 3 pieces as well. I don't advance what are the 3 pieces, but anyway, you know that we talk about the pricing, should know the pricing method. And also, our companies, they use the pricing strategies as well. Now, I'll have to use that example to explain the strategy. You know that if you're going to buy the product like shoes or slippers from the DSI or the Bata, right? Then they mark the price. Nowadays, you can see the prices somewhat be very higher. How they mark the 9,999, right? 6,999. Not only our local market, if you are going to the foreign market, supermarket, they mark the price $99, $199, $299 likewise. They use as the last 2 digits 99. That's one of the strategy. How we call that? And we know about that. That's one of the strategy. If the price set the 10,000 rather than the 9,999, people going to say it's expensive. If the price set is straightforward 9,000, 10,000, people they are going to say this is expensive. But price set the 9,990, people they are going to say it's a cheap, right? Because our mindset, the 9,990 means is a 9,000 amount. But actually 10,000 and 9,990 is gap is very less. There's nobody not get that balance also. But that why they mark the price likewise to create the customer attraction. That's one of the strategy we call. Anybody know about that? How we call? This is a very simple example I used to explain the strategy. How we call that a strategy? That's a strategy. If you're going to buy the products, they assume that the sellers mark the price likewise. You can ask, we know the secret behind that. You are going to use a strategy, right? That's a strategy we call psychological pricing strategy. Psychological pricing strategy. Okay, I'm not going to talk about the marketing strategy. Actually, strategy we can use for the any purpose. As a student, you also use some strategy. Me also sometimes you want to use a strategy. That's a normally everybody they are going to use a strategy to achieve their goals and objective, effective and efficient manner. Then we can talk about the strategy, operations, marketing, HRM, finance likewise. And I'm going to talk about the operations strategy. Under this topic, we can talk about, I got a lot of definitions also. Okay, you can go ahead yourself, then find the more definitions, much better. Then under this topic, I'll talk about the overall strategy, operations strategy, the operations decisions, and we can talk about competitive dimensions. There are 4 dimensions. We call the cost, quality, delivery time, and flexibility. And also we can talk about the order qualifier and order winner, one of the concept, and productivity as a measure of completeness. Right? Now, first I like to explain the overall strategy to operational strategy. You know, any organization, they are going to concern their, if they want to develop the operational strategy, they are going to start in point, mission and vision of the organization. Any organization, you can see that they have a mission and vision. And also simultaneously, they are going to consider about the voice of the customer. If you want that, you can write down that particular term. Means voice of the customer mean customer needs and wants. If any company going to develop their operation strategy, they should focus about the mission and vision, voice of the customer. This means customer needs and wants. And also simultaneously, they need to consider about voice of the business. It's mean the organization strength, their capital strength, their technological strength, and workforce strength as well. Right? Then based on mission and vision, voice of the customer, it means the customer needs and wants. Based on the organization strength, voice of the business, first they need to make the corporate strategy. The corporate strategy is very common for the whole organization. The corporate strategy organization, they are going to develop considering all the functions area. After they develop the corporate strategy, they are going to develop the strategy marketing, operations, finance, HR likewise. I am going to focus about operational strategy. What is a strategy? Actually, finally, strategy means decisions. We are going to take the different kind of the decisions, different level. A strategic level, as example, just I put some questions. How will the product be made? Where do we locate the facility? How much capacity do we need? When do we add more capacity? Then tactical level, how to efficiency schedule material and labor. No need to remember everything, just get the idea enough, right? How many workers we need them? When do you need them? And should we work overtime or put the second shift likewise? And operational and planning and control levels, what jobs do we work on today or this week? Who do we assign to what tasks likewise? Actually, operational strategy means involves decision that relate to the design of a process and infrastructure needed to support the process. I earlier explained we use the input to produce a desired output. We mainly focus about the transformation process. When I'm going to take the decision about the transformation process, that we can say that these are the strategy, right? As example, you know, market demand is not constant. The demand vary all the time. The organization capacity is somewhat constant. We have a exact number of workforce. We have a number of machines, machine hours, right? Our, capacity somewhat constant, but demand vary all the time. No? If the market demand is going up, we should use some strategy to satisfy the customer requirement. We can't say we don't have enough capacity. The companies use some strategy to satisfy the market demand. What are the strategy? They use the chase demand, level production, subcontract, workforce utilization means overtime, sharing capacity, peak demand. Like that, these are the strategy, right? The organization need to decide which a strategy need to use to satisfy the customer requirement without any shortage, without delay, right? Then we are considering that whole process, product design, development, process selection, quality management, capacity planning. Likewise, we need to take the decisions. Then we use the strategy. Then now you can see the strategy process. One side, theoretically, what are the steps you need to follow to develop the operational strategy? Right hand side, you can see one example. I earlier also mentioned when you're going to develop the operational strategy, start from the organization mission and mission, voice of the customer, voice of the business. I just put here only the customer needs, but don't misunderstand. We consider simultaneously organization strength as well as a mission and vision. The customer requirement is more product, more product. Then let me think about the one example. Can you think about an example for the customer needs more product according to the current situation? Which product customer required now? If you're going to the market, customer expect more product. Which type of product? You're not going to market. Okay, I give the one example. The COVID, before maybe 5-6 years early, if you talk about the milk powder, high demand for the Anchor. Anchor is market leader. But you know, it's create a problem for the Anchor, CDS problem. Then people, they are going to say that Anchor is not good milk powder, then is highly effective to reduce their demand. At that time, high demand for the Highland product. Customer requirement is more product. They like to buy the Highland, right? Then after we identify the customer needs, the next step, we should develop the corporate strategy to satisfy the customer requirement. The corporate strategy is, I earlier mentioned, considering the whole organization, we should develop the strategy. If the customer required more product, we can say increase organization size. But at that time, Highland company not increase their capacity, but now they are going to expand the capacity, right? That's the corporate strategy. After the corporate strategy, we should take the operational strategy. Operational strategy, right? Then operational strategy is increase production capacity. And the operation, we talk about the capacity and the operations. If the customer required more product, as a corporate strategy, we can say increase organization size without considering any functional area. Then after that, we are going to identify the operational strategy. We can say increase production capacity. Then finally, we are going to take the decision on process and infrastructure. As example, I select, if the customer required more product, then we can say build new factory. I think Highland company, nowadays they use this particular strategy. They are going to expand the capacity, own capacity. That is not only one strategy. We can use subcontract. Short term, we can use the sharing capacity. We can use the overtime, level production, chase demand. Likewise, there are so many strategies. As example, yes, I put the build a new factory. Now you can see the strategy process. Start in vision and mission, voice of the customer, voice of the business. We should develop the corporate strategy. Based on that, we should develop the operational strategy. Finally, we are going to take the decision on process and infrastructure. Theoretically, so easy to say how we can develop a strategy. But practically, if any organization, they are going to develop the strategy, it's not easy task, because the success of the organization depend on the strategy they use. Therefore, that's really important, right? As example, the Emerald company want to reduce their production cost. The Emerald shirts manufacturing company, they need to reduce their production cost. Assume they are going to reduce the labor cost. It's a big problem in our country now. Normally, anyone don't like to get the less salary. It's difficult to reduce the labor cost. If they are going to reduce the labor cost, what happen next time? Next day, maybe we can see the strike. But what the company did, they introduced the new design to the market. We call the simplet. Customer didn't say, we require the shirt. We don't like to wear the shirt without simplet. Customer didn't say anything about that. Who create that design, simplet design? The company create. For what? To reduce the material cost. They introducing this particular strategy, they achieve their objectives rather than going to some other strategy. They use I earlier mentioned that reduce the labor cost. There are so many problems created. Then what they did, they introduced a new design to the market to reduce the material cost. These are the actually strategy. You can observe that different companies, every time they use some strategy, right, to achieve their goals and objectives. Okay, now I would like to come to the next part, competitive priorities.
Sir,
Computer-
excuse me.
Yes.
When we talk about the voice of the customer,
Yeah.
does it include the customer complaints?
What do you mean that voice of the
Only-
customer needs,
yes.
customer needs and wants? We
Customer
consider-
complaints.
Yeah, complaint also we can consider.
Uh,
We can consider. Because complaint means that customer are not satisfied. It means they are not satisfied. The expectations and the way the company going to satisfy the customer requirement is different. Then customer is going to complain. Then organization can consider that one also to develop the strategy, right? We can include that one also. I think I plan to continue that without any break, because at the break time we can consider, we can take last moment. I mean that we can stop somewhat early. That's much better, no? What about your idea? A lot of you are going to take the break, I'm sure, right? Anyway, then I like to continue without any break. It's okay?
Okay, no problem, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
right. Then now I like to explain the competitive priorities, competitive dimensions. You know, any organization, they have a competitors. If I said as example, DSI, the BATA is a competitive organization. Let me know any other examples. Who are the competitive organization? Different industries. One of the example, DSI, BATA. Then?
Melbourne and Manchi.
Very good. Go ahead. Then rest of. Everybody can say the answers. What are the competitive organizations? Mudita, your voice is still not clear. Yes. Others, very simple question I asked now. You are going to market, then you should know that.
You mean the companies like
Yeah, the competitive organizations. Company, I mentioned the DSI, BATA, one of the
soap manufacturers?
Sorry?
Soap manufacturers.
Yeah, I need the example. I mean that competitive organization. We can say the product like My Choice and Unilever products. The competitive and the Sri Lankan Airlines, Emirates, competitor
Yeah.
Hilton, Kandalam, likewise. Dialog, Mobitel. Okay, likewise, you can see the different.
Nissan and Toyota.
Yeah, Nissan and Toyota, likewise. Okay, very good. Then, any company, they like to get the big market share. They like to get the big market share. For that purpose, they are going to focus these competitive priorities, competitive dimensions. Remember, there was a mean of the competitive priorities. Any company, they have a competitive organization, even the RISE also, Arali and Nipuna, the competitive organization. They want to get the big market share, then they are going to focus these dimensions to get the big market share. Mainly 4 dimensions. You can see now: cost, quality, delivery time, and flexibility. You know, some organization, they focus the cost dimensions. They are going to produce their goods and service at lowest cost. The production cost is lower. They can offer the product to the market lowest price, compare the competitors. Because of the lowest price, according to demand and supply theory, demand is going up. That's the way some companies to get the big market share, focus in the cost dimensions. I'll take the example. Then after that, you can think about yourself. If you consider about the supermarket, Cargill's, Apico, Laugh, then Spa, Glowmark, Crystal, right? The Cargills from the beginning, they introduced the low-cost operations. They send the message, we are going to offer the several products lowest price. And also before maybe 4 or 5 years early, Cargill's, given the time period we call the happy time, the particular time period, they offer the 10% discount. It's not a credit card offer. They offer the 10% discount for any customer. Total bill out of that. Nowadays also Glowmark, they use that particular strategy. The problem is that they are not given the 10% discount for the whole product. I mean that if you are going to buy the rice, they said no, it's not allowed to rice. But very early that Cargill's introduced that promotion campaign. Any product, either pharmaceutical product also, they give the 10% discount out of total bill. This means they focus the low-cost operations. They focus low-cost operations. For what? To get the big market share at the particular time period. I got my memory, 4 to 6 or something like that. Then the lot of customers, because 10% discount out of total bill, right? Then likewise, you can think about who are the organization, they focus the low-cost operation. Can you say any examples? Previous or the current examples? It's okay, no problem.
Sorry, sir, what is the question, please?
Question is, who are the company they consider about the low-cost operations? Is one of the dimensions I explained. They are going to produce the goods and service at lowest cost. Then they offer the product market to the lowest price. Then because of the lowest price, the product demand is going up. What are the examples? What are the examples? Organization, products. They focus in the...
Satosa.
Satosa, yes, somewhat correct. They consider low-cost operations, right? Then any other products or other organization? There are so many.
Answered now. Government hospital and private hospitals.
Actually, that's cannot consider because of that government hospital that free of charge, no? Not like that. Think about that rest of the examples. There's so many, no? Is another example, if you consider about the Air Asia, Emirates or Singapore Airlines. Air Asia offer the tickets prices are very lower price. Their facility also less, we know, but they focus low-cost operations. Now, you know that in Malaysia have a separate terminal for that, right? They are going, the lot of customer demand now, Air Asia, because the low-cost operations. And somewhat early that AMW offer their vehicle Alto Maruti product 15 lakhs, 14 lakhs. Compare the rest of other manufacturers, their price is very low. Their price is very low. They focus low cost operation. If you're going to supermarket like Cargill's, now you can see that nowadays have a new brand name, My Choice. Compare the Unilever products, their price is very low. So, car wash and Samantina, likewise, there are so many the products now under the My Choice. The price is very low. They focus low cost operations. Right? Then sometimes the hotels or other companies, they offer the prices very low prices. They focus low cost operations. Right? Then likewise, you can see some organization and even if you go to the normal market, the vegetable sellers also, they put the board and say this particular vegetable price is very low price, but rest of prices are very high. They focus in the low cost operation to get the customer attraction, right? And try to find some other examples also yourself. And some companies, they focus the quality. They focus quality. They are going to produce a high quality product. They are going to produce a high quality product. For what? To get the big market share. If the company going to produce a high quality product, their prices is also very high. But they not concern the price, they concern only the quality. Can you say an example?
Some car companies like Benz, Audi.
Sorry?
Certain car companies like Benz, Audi.
Okay, that's correct. They focus in the quality. Even Toyota also, they focus quality. Compare the Hyundai, Kia, Alto, Maruti, right? They focus quality. BMW, Benz, Audi, Range Rover, they focus quality. Their price is also very high. And airlines, Emirates, then Singapore Airlines, they focus quality. The hotel side, Hilton, Kandalam, Riu Hotel, they focus quality. Right? Odell products, they focus quality. Their price is very high. Hamidia, they focus quality rather than the rest of other competitors. Likewise, there are so many examples. A good example, Apple phone. Apple phone, that they focus quality. Compare the Samsung, right? Their price is very high. The people like to buy, right? Samsung television, TV, also they focus quality. Likewise, there are so many you can find that. The Citizen Watch, right? Then you know that different products, they are going to focus quality to get the big market share. And also, some companies, they focus the flexibility. Flexibility means they are going to produce different variety of the product. For what? To get the big market share, because customer don't like to buy the same type of products. Customer like to buy different varieties. As example, the Nestamol milk manufacturer produces a small packet for the low-level income people. They produce the 400-gram packet for the mid-level income people. They produce an Nestamol tin for the high-level income families. Anybody can buy that product, right? But their target is to get the high market share. They are concerned the flexibility. Cargills, they produce ice cream, different flavors, chocolate, vanilla, avocado, strawberry, right? Likewise, so many flavors. For what? To get the big market share. And likewise, you can just try to find the examples. So other company, they focus these dimensions for what? To get the big market share. And some companies, they focus the delivery time. Can you say an example? For the organization, they focus the delivery time to get the big market share. Delivery time. You know that company know some customers like to buy the product within short time period. After place an order, normally customer behavior is, we like to buy the product within short time period. Then some company know about that. Then they are going to focus delivery time to get the big market share. Can you say any examples?
Pizza cut.
Sorry? Sorry? Yeah, that's
Pizza cut.
Your one is not clear. Again? What you said?
Pizza cut.
Pre-circle or Freezer Hut. The good example actually Freezer Hut. Compare the Domino's Pizza, McDonald's or KFC. The same type of the restaurant. The Freezer Hut, they concern about delivery time. After you place an order, they try to give the pizza to your doorstep within short time period. You can observe how the pizza riders going on the road. They are not think about their life also, right? They're going very fast because they focus delivery time. If you can talk with the pizza rider, stop the bike and you can discuss, you can talk with them. You can mention about, okay, we know the secret behind that. Why you are going very fast? I think don't go very fast. Think about your life, right? Because they try to give the pizza within short time period. I met one manager from the Domino's Pizza. I asked, what about your company strategy? He said, we have a delivery guarantee. If you are going to that place, it's much better talk with them. Friendly, you can talk with them. Then you can get a lot of information. That particular manager said they have a they have a delivery guarantee. It means after they got the order, they will give to the particular required quantity to the customer doorstep within 30 minutes. The guarantee given the 30 minutes. If the Domino's Pizza cannot give the particular order within particular 30 minutes time period, they will give whole order free of charge. Sometimes customer like to get the pizza after 30 minutes, but anyway, the particular company, they try to give the within short time period. That's we call delivery time. And not only that, some more examples. The Kapruk also we can consider the Daras. And not only that, we can consider
Domex, the courier services.
yeah, that's very good. The courier services, FedEx, TNT, United Parcel Service, then one of the DHL, right? They are going to focus the delivery time. Okay. Likewise, better to think about the example for that, practical example, right? Maybe final exam question, right? I like to ask that question very practical. Then you should know about that, how they focus these dimensions to get the big market share. Why I put the cost and quality same arrow? Why I put the flexibility and delivery time same arrow? The reason behind that, for the same company, for the same product, difficult to focus simultaneously cost and quality. If the company going to focus the cost dimensions, they try to minimize their cost is effect to reduce the quality. They can't focus the quality simultaneously because if the company going to focus quality, it's effect to increase the cost. Then difficult to focus both for the same product, same company simultaneously. That's the reason we put that on the same arrow. And flexibility and delivery time also same. Flexibility and delivery time also same. If the company produce a different variety of the product, if the customer asks to get the customer doorstep, it takes time. It takes time. But anyway, the Pizza Hut, they are going to manage nicely because the pizza production process is so easy, that they use the base. We call this roti that only the different sizes, small, medium, and large likewise. Then using the toppings, they are going to create the different flavor, right? Then so easy to make this one. It's not difficult task. Then they can manage both flexibility and delivery time somewhat, right? Anyway, remember that one particular company no need to consider only one dimension. Simultaneously, they can consider cost and the flexibility, cost and the delivery time, or quality and flexibility, quality and delivery time. Difficult to focus cost and quality simultaneously for the same product. That's the things you need to know, right? Any questions? Any questions? You understood?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Yes.
Okay. Now I have to explain how the competitive priorities or dimensions connect with the strategy, because our topic is a strategy, no? Then now you can see when you're going to develop the operational strategy, starting point, mission and vision, voice of the customer, voice of the business. First, we are going to develop the corporate strategy. After that, we should do the market analysis. For what? To identify the market segment or need assessment. Without the market analysis, we can't say. I'm not clear your voice. Without market analysis, we can't say which competitive dimension is more suitable. Because you know that the quality dimension is more suitable for the high level income families. Because they are not going to concern about the cost. You know, some places in our country, one shirt, 45,000. Sometimes they are going to give the 40% discount. But if they got the 40% discount, the prices are very high, no? Right? Some vehicles nowadays you can see, right? 100 million. Right? 100 million. But some customers like to buy that. There's so many vehicles now in the sale centers. Right? Then we should select the which dimensions more suitable is depend on the target market. Therefore, we should do the market analysis to identify the market segment or target market. Then after that, we should identify the which dimension more suitable. If you want to identify the market segment, we can use some tools. Here, one of the tools you can see now, we call the product market expansion grid, introduced by the ANSOP. ANSOP is one of the expertise persons, the subject marketing, like Philip Kotler. The ANSOP introduce a product market expansion grid, new product to the new market, new product to the existing market, existing product to the new market, existing product to the existing market, likewise. Not only that, we can use some other tools as well. If you know the marketing management, we can use a BCG metrics. Boston Consultancy Group introduce the BCG metrics, the 4 segment, question mark, cash cow, dog, and stomach. I don't like to explain that because it's not my responsibility. This is another marketing. And also another tool we call the General Electric approach. There are 9 segments. And not only that, we can consider factors to identify the target market based on the income level, based on the gender wise, based on the age. We can identify the market segment. Geographical factors, likewise. Then according to the target market, we should identify the which competitive dimensions more suitable. Right? Now you can see the relationship. First, develop the corporate strategy. Before go to the operational strategy, we should do the market analysis. Then consider about the competitive dimensions, cost, quality, delivery time, and flexibility. Normally, we consider cost dimensions as a low-cost operation, quality means high-performance design, consistent quality, time, fast delivery, on-time delivery, and flexibility, customization, no volume flexibility likewise. That's the way we are going to concern these particular dimensions. Then we should develop the functional area strategy. We are going to talk about the operation strategy. when you're going to develop the operation strategy, again, we should classify, consider the goods and services. Because same strategy not suitable for the tangible goods and intangible services every time. We know goods and services have some differences. Therefore, when you're going to develop the operational strategy, we consider goods and service separately. As example is standardized service, assembled to order, customized service. Manufacturing means tangible goods, make to stock, assembled to order, make to order. Then finally, we are going to take the decision about process, quality, capacity, locations, layout, and operating. That's the whole process now you can see. Now you can see how organization they are going to develop operation strategy. Starting organization mission and mission, voice of the business, voice of the customer. They are going to develop the corporate strategy first. Then they do the market analysis. Then based on the market segment, they identify the competitive dimensions, which dimensions or dimensions are more suitable. Then they develop the strategy, consider the goods and service. Finally, they are going to take the decision about process, quality, capacity, locations, layout like this. Now I'll have to explain another concept. We call the order qualifier and order winner. Order qualifier and order winner. First, I'll have to talk about the order qualifier. Before I go to this particular definition, I'll take one example. Assume now the government allowed to get the vehicle from outside country. No? Very recently allowed to get the any high capacity vehicles also. Right? Then you like to buy the vehicle. You have a money. Don't worry about the money, right? Assume you have money. Which brand name you like? Let me know. Which brand name you like? Your preference. Let me know. You want to buy? Sorry.
Toyota.
Okay, then only Toyota. The different peoples, they have a different preference.
Honda.
Let me know that. Your idea. Toyota then? Only Toyota?
There may be Honda, Mitsubishi.
But I asked your preference, only one brand, I think your favorite one. Don't say all the brands.
Audi.
Okay, you like to Audi then? One student said that Toyota. Then Audi. The one of the students said a lot of brands. Can you say?
Exia.
Sorry?
Exia.
Okay.
From yeah.
Okay. Then
BMW.
BMW. Okay, good. Actually, nobody not said that the brand name like the Alto, Suzuki, Hyundai, or Kia, because you consider about the high demand band. These are the order qualified. These are the order qualified. If you're going to buy one particular product or service, a lot of people, they thought this particular brand name is much better. We call these are the order qualifiers. Order qualifier are the basic criteria that permit the firm's product to be considered as a candidate for purchase by customer. A brand name car can be the order qualifier. I put as a BMW, Benz, Audi, Toyota. These are the Discovery or either Range Rover. Right? These are the order qualifiers. But rest of the brand name, Alto, Suzuki, Maruti, Hyundai, Kia. These are the brand name. We can't say they are the order qualifier because they have a less demand. We call these are the order winners in the future actually. What's the meaning of the order winner? Order winners are the criteria that differentiate the product and service of the one firm to another. Actually, rest of the brand name, they can become the order winner in the future given a lot of facilities to the customer, like warranty, roadside assistance, leases, and including a lot of features. They are going to produce a new technology vehicle. Now, good example, BYD, that Chinese one. They become the order early, that Chinese product people thought is the order winner, the less demand. Now they become the order winner and they become the order qualifier. Because we can run that after charging 400 something like kilometers with new technology. Now they become the order winner and they become the order qualifier. That order qualifier and the winner, you know, that is changing all the time. Before the 6 years, the milkman powder market, order qualifier is anchor. Everybody like to buy the anchor. But after CDC problem, anchor demand get down. Right? Then again, anchor now try to be a order winner. And maybe in the future, they are become again order qualifier. It's changing all the time. It's changing all the time. If you want to buy the machine, you like to buy the Singer machine because Singer is order qualified. The other manufacturers, they have a possibilities to produce the high quality product along with the new features design. Then they become the order winner and they become the order qualifier. The very practical example, real example, 1970 decades. Automobile industry in the world, the order qualifies a Toyota Japan product, including Toyota and other Japanese product. 1970 decades, Japanese product automobile industry, they are the order qualifier. But what happened 1980 decades, the European product, General Motors, Ford, that type of companies, they produce a new design features vehicle to the market. The 1980 decades, they become the order winner and they become the order qualifier. 1980 decades. But 1990 decades, again, Japanese people, they understood they have some problems. They are going to redesign the vehicles, new design technology, product they introduced to the market. Then again, what happened 1990 decades, Japanese product become the order winner and they become the order qualifier. Now you can see, I saw the last 2016 and 20 also, high demand for the again Japanese product. Now in our country, we can see that people like to buy the Japanese product as well as the European product. It's changing all the time. Some particular time period, people like to buy the European product. Sometimes they like to buy the Japanese product. We can't say the order qualify and order winner that every time the one particular company order qualify or the winner is changing all the time. Right? You thought that Open University is order qualify. That's the reason you select this particular program to complete your degree. There are so many organizations, they offer this particular type of service. But why you are select? You thought that is the organization satisfied your requirement. Right? Another organization, they are going to offer the service with along with the free laptop or the other facilities. Then that particular organization, they become the order winner and they become the order qualifier. Now I'll explain how this particular concept connect with the operation strategy. If any company going to develop the strategy, before they develop the strategy, they should identify they are order winner or the order qualifier. Because they need to develop strategy based on that. If I set the one particular brand name, Sunlight, what about your idea? Is order qualifier or order winner? Compare the competitors. If I set the brand name Sunlight.
Order qualifier.
Order qualifier. Actually, I didn't ask question. I can ask. If you want to buy the soap to wash your clothes, then which one you like? I'm sure a lot of you are going to say Sunlight. If I set the brand name Sunlight, in your mind have a lot of information. Sunlight is a soap used to wash the cloth. Color is a yellow color. And the prices you know, everything you know about. Because of the auto qualify. Auto qualify. Then sunlight manufacturer need to use the strategy considering still they are the auto qualify. Assume another company anchor, now they are not auto qualified. They have less demand. Now they try to be a order winner. Then based on that, they should use some strategy. The sunlight manufacturer nowadays they use as a strategy. We call the modifications. The manufacturer is going to modify their product, modify their brand name as a new sunlight, add the new smell, change in the colors. Now you can buy sunlight, you can buy not only yellow, white color, pink color, green color, purple color, like this. There are different colors. They are doing modifications because they need to get the higher demand. They are the order qualified, right? Now you can see that that's the way this particular concept connect with the strategy. The organization, before they develop the strategy, they should know the company, the particular product is order winner or the order qualifier. Based on that, they should develop the strategy. I use this different terms early. Customized service. According to the customer needs and wants, we are going to offer the service. The doctor-patient relationship is a good example. Different patients, you can see the physical exam, broken arm, flu. They're going to offer the service different way. That's what we call the customized service. I am offer the service for all of the student in this class. That is not the customized service. I consider about each student requirement separately, Mudita and other student likewise, then is a customized. Is another term I use, make to stock. Normally using the mass production, we are going to use that make to stock. Automobile assembly process is a good example. Using the same assembly line, we are going to produce 6-cylinder and the 4-cylinder. Assembly line means one starting point. There are so many workstations, each workstation adding parts and components to produce the final product. We call that the make to stock. Now we'll come to the last part of our topic, the productivity. You know, productivity is a common measure. How well resources are being used. Under the operations management, the performance levels we are going to measure after calculating the productivity. The productivity is a common measure how well resources are being used. In broad sense, it can be defined as a following ratio, output divided by inputs. We can calculate the productivity 3 ways. Total measure productivity, how to calculate total output divided by total inputs. I not include the total term, but you much better can include total outputs divided by total inputs. So either goods and service produced divided by all resources are used. We can calculate the partials measure, how to calculate total output divided by one particular input. If you want to calculate the labor partials measure, total output divided by labor cost only. If you want to calculate the capital partials measure, total output divided by capital cost only. If you want to calculate the material, total output divided by material cost only. That's we call the partials measure. And also we can calculate the multi-factor ratio. Multi-factor ratio means again the total output divided by combination of input, labor plus capital plus energy, or either more than one input, labor plus material. It's enough, no need 3 inputs, right? Remember that when you're going to calculate the multi-factor ratio, more than one input, less than total, right? If you consider only one input, again you are calculating the partials measure. If you consider all the inputs, again you are calculating the total productivity. In between any combination, you can use to calculate the multi-factor ratio. Okay, let's go to the very first example. Is given the 2-year information, output, sales of the production, inputs, labor, raw material and supplies, capital and other. You should calculate total productivity, material and labor partials measure and multi-factor ratio. How to calculate total productivity? Total output divided by total inputs. How to calculate partials material? Total output divided by material cost only. How to calculate the labor partials measure? Total output divided by labor cost only. How to calculate the multi-factor ratio? Any combination of the input. Don't take the all, don't take the one in between any combination, either 2 or 3. Okay, do the calculation. I'll give a 5 minute. Then I'll check the answer after that. Let's start now. Did you complete the answer? Did you complete the answer?
Not yet, sir, doing the last.
Okay. Anyway, that I'll have to explain now that because of the time constraint, you should calculate the both years separately because 2018 and 19 information is given separately. First question, total productivity. I think much better take the 3 columns. First column, you can see the description, and the second column, 2018 and 2019, third column. First, you can write the total productivity, how to calculate total output divided by total inputs. The sales allow the production is 22,000 divided by total inputs, 10,000, 8,000, 7,000, altogether maybe 27,200, no? Yes, 27,200. The 22,000 divided by 27,200, you can get the total product ratio for the 2018. 19, how to calculate 35,000 divided by 44,300. You can get the 0.80 and 0.70 maybe. I don't know that because you should do the calculator anyway. Then my partials measure, how to calculate material 2018 22,000 divided by material cost only. This means 8,000. 2019 35,000 divided by 12,500. Then labor partials measure 22,000 divided by 10,000 2.2 and 35,000 divided by 15,000. The multi-factor ratio can calculate considering the combination of the inputs, either 2 or 3 or don't take all 4, don't take only 1. I like to calculate the multi-factor ratio. Total output 22,000 divided by labor plus raw material 18,000. 35,000 divided by 15,000 plus 12,500, 27,500. If you like to consider capital also, then you can get it, or capital plus other, or you can consider 3 or 2 or likewise, right? Any combination is up to you. Now you're okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Then we can consider that what are the main factors affect the productivity. Or before that, you want another example, is enough? Everybody know how to calculate productivity ratios? Is it enough? Now the number of participants very less. Reduce. Now 8. Okay, anyway, that now I like to finish the class. That anyway, I like to give the homework, right? Homework. The homework is this example. Example number 2. If you don't have the slides, just take the image using your handphone. The sales sell of the main production 120,000, labor, raw material, byproducts, capital, other inputs. Figures as given. Then you should calculate the total productivity, material and labor partials measures, and multi-factor ratios. Right? Then another question, just try to find what are the main factors affect to the productivity. The next question is, this is homework. Next time I am going to check that one. What are the main factors affect to the productivity? The next day I saw that the timetable is mentioned 17. The problem is I don't have the time. I am not available the 17, 2 to 5. I am not available. I already sent you the message to the coordinator. I will do the 17, same time 6 to 9. Right? That I want to inform that. Okay, then you try to complete the answer this question and what are the main factors affect the productivity. I will explain that answer and the answer for all the questions next time. Do you have any questions? Today we didn't get any short break. That's the reason I like to just finish the today's session. Then next time we can continue. Any questions? Clarifications?
No, sir.
No,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you all of you and good night.
Okay, thank you, sir.
very
Good
much.
night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Good
sir.
night.
Thank you, sir. Good night. Thank you.
Okay, you all are welcome.